Let's talk about standing posture. It's super important to have good posture when you go throughout your daily life. When we start to come forward, we start to create really poor posture and the head becomes forward and we start to create this hump in the upper back. So we're gonna go through the postural cues and correct standing alignment. So what I'd like you to do is stand with your feet about fist or hip width apart. Make sure that your feet are tracking straight on. So you don't want your feet to be turned out, don't want your feet to be turned in. They should be tracking perfectly parallel. Make sure as well that your weight is evenly distributed from the front to the back of your foot. So you don't want too much weight in the front of your foot and vice versa, not too much weight in the back of your foot, but rather the weight is evenly distributed from front to back. As well, something else to watch, you don't want to roll in or pronate on the ankles and you don't want to roll out. So centering the weight from side to side as well as front to back. Another thing we talk about when we're standing and working on our posture, make sure that your knees are directly over your ankles. So we call this the plumb line is what we're going to talk about. You want your knees to be directly over your ankles. So they're not locked out and hyperextended and they're not bent. They should be straight, but not locked out. The next place we're going to talk about are your hips. The hips are super important because a lot of times we do this and we start to stick our buns out and you don't want your hips to be tucking under either. You want your hips to be level, so you're pulling up through the abdominals, reaching the tailbone down towards the floor. The rib cage should not be jutting forward. Keep the ribs right over the hips. Now we get to the shoulders and the neck. The shoulders oftentimes start to round forward and that leads to a forward head. When you're standing, make sure that your shoulders are directly over your hips. So what I'd like you to do, a few shoulder rolls, up, back, and down, and do a few of those so you can feel it. And on the last one, up, back, and down, and keep them there. From there, your shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles should be in alignment. As well as the head. The head should be back over the shoulders. So if I see you from the side view, your ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles should all be in a plumb line is what we call that. Trying to maintain that throughout daily life. When you're standing, talking to your friends, see if you can avoid shifting from one side to the other. If you do that, it can create imbalances in the hips. So try to maintain a stable pelvis, abdominals drawing in and up and reaching down through the back of the body. So energy moving in a circular pattern. It's so important to maintain correct posture as you move throughout your day. Good posture is the foundation for all your movements. Stand tall.